Hi, welcome to Sun and Moon Yoga Studios YouTube channel. I'm Carol Stehl, and today our practice is called Cooling It. And if you're in this area, the Washington, D.C. area, you know why we're doing a cooling practice. It is extremely, extremely hot outside, and we've been in a heat wave for weeks now. And so we're just going to take it easy in our practice today. The traditional Hindu system of medicine and sister science to yoga called Ayurveda is based on the idea of balance in the bodily systems. And according to Ayurveda, summer inspires the Pitta dosha. And so, what are the doshas? The doshas are the bodily humors that create our unique individual constitution. Fiery Pitta energy dominates our environment in the summer, which means that we should be especially mindful of balancing this energy with our own cooling energy. And so, considering the extreme heat in our area today and considering the heated tensions in our world right now, our short practice is going to focus on cooling the body and calming the nervous system. I hope that sounds good to you. So, we're just going to take it easy. So let's start off in a seated position. So get yourself really comfortable in your seat. And we'll just take a few moments to get centered. So just bringing your awareness to your seat. And just feeling your connection to the ground through your sit bones. And sinking a little deeper into that surface beneath you. And then bringing your awareness to your tailbone. Let your awareness slowly rise up from the tailbone, up the spine, vertebra by vertebra, creating more and more space between each of the vertebrae. Awareness rising all the way up to the back of the neck and continuing all the way up to the crown of the head, so that you're sitting up nice and tall. At the same time, you're grounded. Now see where you might relax. Relax the shoulders, relax the face, relax your tongue. So we're going to practice a pranayama, a breathing practice called Shitali. Shitali means cooling in in Sanskrit. And this breath work is instantly cooling to the body. So you can take this with you wherever you are, whenever you want to cool down the body. It's even great for hot flashes. Okay, so here's how it works. It's kind of funny, kind of fun, kind of different. So what we'll do is we'll roll the tongue in like a pipe shape like this. Okay, so there's a certain percentage of us out there that this isn't available for them. It's just not in the DNA to roll your tongue in a pipe like that. So for you, you would just roll your tongue in the opposite direction horizontally so that you curl the tip of your tongue behind your top front teeth like this. And you just leave your mouth open, okay? So we'll breathe in through the rolled pipe tongue. And then we'll close the mouth and breathe out through the nose. That's it. Breathe in through the pipe or through the rolled tongue. And breathe out, mouth closed through the nose. Okay, so let's begin. So see if you can breathe in to the count of 3 and breathe out to the count of 3. You can make your count as slow or as fast as you like. Slower is great. So just keep going. Let's take two more of these breaths. And then just sit quietly just for a couple of breaths and observe. And then open your eyes if they're closed. So let's warm up the spine. So let's take the arms up and interlace the hands and place them behind the head. And so as you inhale, lift the heart skyward. Draw the elbows back. As you exhale, let's round the back, bring the elbows toward one another, and draw the navel back towards the spine. And then inhale, lift, elbows back. Exhale, round, elbows together. Draw the belly in. And keep going 4 more times. Taking longer, slower, deeper breaths. Calming the nervous system. And last one. And then let's just release. Now, if you've been sitting in a cross-legged position this whole time, go ahead and change the cross. Okay? So now, let's bring the arms overhead, the palms together. And so now let's cross the wrists over, turn the palms and interlace the hands this way with the wrists crossed. Okay? Then bend the elbows. And then we're going to lengthen up as you breathe in. And as you breathe out, we're just going to list over to one side, keeping both sit bones grounded. You can look up at the sky if you like, or just keep your head looking straight forward. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, over. Inhale, up. Exhale, over. One more round. And then coming back to center, extend the arms back up. Now we're going to change the cross. So cross the wrists in the opposite direction. Opposite wrist on top. Interlace the fingers, bring the elbows down. Now, if this isn't available to you, you can clasp your elbows, or you can just bring one arm up each time we come over to extend to the side. So, your choice. Inhale up and exhale over. We'll do 3 rounds this way. 1 round is 1 time to each side. And 1 more round. And then coming back to center, arms come up, release the palms and float the arms down. Okay, so let's take a twist. So let's begin to twist to the right and place your left hand on the opposite knee, other arm behind you. So lengthen up through the spine, get really tall, and as you exhale, begin to twist. So take a couple more breaths to get into your twist. Getting long on the inhale, twisting on the exhale. And then holding in your twist. So keeping your twist intact, but just moving the head. Turn your head to look over the opposite shoulder and then come back. So inhale, turn the head. Exhale, back. And a couple more times. Going all the way back into the twist. Maybe Twisting one more time, one more breath, getting a little deeper. And then breathing in, lengthen up. And exhale back to center. Okay. So let's twist to the other side, lengthen up. And then turn to the left. And let's take 3 breaths to get into the twist, okay? Lengthen up on the inhale. On the exhale, turn. And now holding in a twist, let's just turn the head. The head turns only. Back and forth, moving with the breath. And one more time. Looking behind, let's take one more round of breath here in the twist, maybe going a little further. And then inhale, lengthen up. And as you exhale, come back to center. Okay, so now let's find a blanket or a towel. Take your blanket and we're going to roll it up. Make a roll out of your blanket or your towel, okay? And then we're going to lie down on the roll so that the roll is underneath your shoulder blades. Okay, so right under the shoulder blades, this is supported fish, and just let the legs extend out long, and the arms can come back out to the sides with the elbows bent in a cactus position or anywhere else you'd like to put them. And the chin is pointing up towards the sky. So feeling the opening there in the chin, in the neck. Relax your body, just release into the roll, just feeling the roll in your back. If it feels like too much, just make your roll a little smaller. Okay, just unroll a little bit. And just sink into the pose. Just relax everywhere. Nice, cooling, supported fish pose. Opening up the upper body. Just relax into it. Let's take some deep breaths here. Just breathing into this heart center area. Breathing into the heart center. And breathing out through the back of the heart. And let's take 3 more breaths like this. And now we're gently going to bend the knees. And we're going to slowly roll over to one side. And press yourself up long enough to just pull the roll out of the way. And then come back onto your back. Come back down. And just kind of come out of the pose. Let your body acclimate. Just take a few breaths here and just notice the effects of that pose on your body. And just relax. We're just cooling it. Let's take 2 more breaths here. And then let's bend the knees and roll over. Come all the way up. And we're going to come onto the hands and knees. Come onto the hands and knees and set up for downward facing dog. So I like to put my hands a little forward over my shoulders and spread the fingers wide, tone the belly slightly, and then open wide across the collarbones. Just curl the toes under and lift the hips up and push them back. Just make a nice, easy, comfortable downward dog. You can make it fluid or you can make it static. Pedal the feet. We'll just keep the knees bent and slowly start to stretch them out. Just make it comfortable. And then push the hips back one more time. And then let's just walk the feet up about halfway. And then bend the knees, take the arms out, and let's come all the way up. Make a nice level back. Come all the way up, hands together, and down in front of the heart. So we're going to take some sun breaths. Sun breaths, they're not sun salutes per se. Sun salutes are heating to the body, and we're going to keep it cool. We're just going to say hello to the sun, okay? So feet about hip distance apart, hands together in front of the heart, an Anjali Mudra. Let's take the hands up all the way. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, turn the palms out and float the arms down and just bring them back in front of the heart. And again, inhale up, turn the palms, float down, staying really grounded through the feet, the soles of the feet. One more time, arms up and back down. This time we'll take a fold, okay? So inhale, arms up. Exhale, let's fold with a level back. Tone the belly slightly. Bend the knees as much as you need to come down. Perhaps reaching the fingertips to the floor and releasing the head. Now inhale, come halfway up, straighten the legs and lengthen the spine. The shoulders draw away from the ears. Let's come back down. And on your inhale, take the arms all the way up, level back. Palms together and down the midline in front of the heart. In a moment here. Nice centering breath. Inhale, the arms up, palms together. Exhale, let's fold. Swan dive, nice easy fold. Hands to the floor, bend the knees if you need to. Head, let's go. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, back down. And let's come back up. Palms together and hands in front of the heart. One more time. Inhale up. Swan dive. Down. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, release down. Now let's bend the knees and bring the hands forward and then come back into a downward dog. And then we're going to step the right foot forward. You can release the knees down first or take one big step. And if you like to use blocks in your lunge pose, you can have blocks with you. Okay, so we're going to inhale, take the arms up. Reach way up. Exhale, come back down. And then straighten that front leg as far as it's willing to go. And draw the right hip back. Right hip draws back, left hip draws forward. Toes pointing down at first. And now let's roll back on the heel. Spread the toes wide. Keep the heart center nice and open. And breathe here. We're going to take several breaths here. In these half splits. you'd like, you can come a little lower, coming into the fold as your body allows. Get long through the spine, breathe in, exhale, maybe come down a little more, maybe not. Do what's right for you and your body. We'll take 2 more breaths here. And let's walk the blocks forward, or your hands forward, and then change sides. Left foot forward, push into the front foot, and let's take the arms all the way up, reach up, breathe in. And then breathe out, coming back down. And then taking the front leg towards straight, toes planted, left hip draws back, right hip draws forward. Now rolling onto the heel, collarbones wide, spread the toes. As you breathe in, lengthen the spine, get more length. As you breathe out, maybe come down a little bit more. Just keep flowing through your pose like this. You can stay where you are, or if you feel an opening, maybe go a little further down. Let's take a couple more breaths here in the pose. And then rise up, plant the foot once again. And then now let's curl the back toes under, lift into the high lunge, and then walk yourself around to the side of your mat so that your feet are pointing straight ahead, and you can have your hands on the blocks or on one block or on the floor. You want to keep your back as level as possible. So if it starts to round a lot, I recommend the block, okay? So from here, we're just going to hold in this pose. So let's ground down through the soles of the feet, pressing equal weight on all 3 points of each foot, the heel, the big toe mound, the little toe mound, both sides, so that you're activating the legs and the inner thighs. And now lengthen from the tailbone to the crown of the head. Get really long. And then as you exhale, maybe release a little bit more into the fold. Maybe not. So just go where your body says it's okay. Stay here with your arms straightened, or you can come down as you feel called. So we'll take a few more breaths here, maybe going a little further down. As you breathe in, lengthen spine. As you breathe out, release into it. Just let the head go. Maybe walking the hands back a little bit more. Let's take 2 more breaths here in this pose. And then begin to walk the hands forward. And then bend the knees deeply. Take your hands to your hips, coming all the way up. And you can either jump your feet together or heel, toe, heel, toe. Okay. So now let's work a little bit on our balance. So we'll take tree pose, a great cooling pose, okay? So we want to get really grounded through the soles of the feet first. 3 points of the left foot, balanced out. 3 points of the right foot, balancing out. All 6 points. Now let's shift our weight to the right side. Okay, the right leg. Stay really tall in that right leg. Then begin to pick up the heel of the left foot. Bring your hands to your waist. Now turn the knee out. So you got your big toes on the floor and slide the foot over to the standing foot. Okay, stay tall out of this leg, the standing leg. So you can stay here in this tree like this, or you can bring the foot up to the calf, or can you bring the foot up to the thigh. If you've got the foot into the thigh, you want to press the thigh into the foot and the foot into the thigh. And then decide where you'd like your hands. Nice and cooling would be hands in front of the heart. A little less cooling would be hands overhead. Palms together if you like. Decide what kind of tree you want to be. And just breathe. Just keep standing up tall, grounding, standing firm in those 3 points of the standing foot. Let's take a couple more breaths here. And then mindfully, gently release out. And shake the standing leg out, if you like. And then starting from ground zero, before we do the other side. Really grounded through both feet. Now let's shift the weight to the left leg. Pick up the heel of the right leg. And then turn it out, slide it over. And then pick your tree pose. You can bring your foot up to the calf, or all the way up to the thigh. And again, decide where you want your hands. You can take them behind your back, in front, all the way up. And just keep breathing. It's very helpful to find a little spot on the floor to focus on, to help with your concentration. So the only place you don't want to put your foot is against your knee. So calf or thigh or ankle. And let's take a couple more breaths here. And then gently release out. Okay. So now let's come back to standing in Anjali Mudra in Tadasana. Inhale, take the arms up. Reach, reach. Exhale, let's swan dive down. Inhale, come halfway up. Lengthen the spine. Exhale, release down. Bend the knees deeply, and let's come onto the hands and knees, and then all the way down onto the belly. Coming down to the belly. With your elbows underneath your shoulders. And the forearms basically parallel. And spread the fingers wide. And so separate your legs a little wider apart. And the toes are pointing out in Sphinx pose. So just grab the mat with your forearms and start to slide your heart forward. Slide the heart forward. Draw your shoulders back behind you. And breathe here. Nice gentle back bend. Lengthening up to the crown of the head. You should just breathe. And then let's Start to slide the hands underneath the shoulders and push up. And let's just round the back gently. And then arch the back and slide the hips back towards a child's pose. And just releasing down, releasing the torso down. And then rest your head on a block or a blanket or the mat. 3 big breaths here. Take 3 full breaths into the back of the body. And then now let's bring the hands back up. And then come onto your back all the way down for a twist. So we're going to take the right leg up in the air and cross it over the left leg so that the knees are kind of stacked, okay? And so then we're just going to pick up the hips and shift them to the right just an inch and set them back down. Take your arms all the way out and just release the legs over to the left. Release the legs over to the left. If this is too much pressure on your back, you can cross your legs with your ankle on your thigh and come over this way. Okay? And then roll your head to the opposite side. So legs left, head right. And just release into the twist. Noticing any places where your body is feeling resistance. And take your breath there and soften that area with your breath. Let's take a couple more breaths here. And then bring the legs back up. Extend that leg up. Bring it down. Now let's shift the hips to the other side slightly. Bring the left leg up, cross it over. Release the legs over to the right. And head rolls left. Just let go. Twists help the body to release internal heat. So just breathe into the twist. And a couple more breaths here. And then rolling onto the back. Straightening out the hips and extend the leg up and all the way down. So now let's roll over. You come all the way over to the belly. Come all the way down. Separate the legs a little wider apart. And then just stack your hands and then rest your forehead on your hands or your forearms in crocodile pose. So take several more breaths here in crocodile pose. Feeling your breath, feeling your belly pressing against the floor as you breathe in. Just letting your thoughts pass through your mind like a fish swimming past you in a lake. Just relaxing, letting go. And then take a couple more breaths here. And you can either stay there to close out your practice, or you can join me in a seated position. It was a pleasure guiding you through this practice today. I hope your body's feeling nice and cool. Namaste.